So even though I consider myself an opponent of religion, I'm still a staunch supporter of religious freedom. My reasons for this are twofold. One is of principle and the other is of self-interest. First of all, Western civilization was founded on the idea of individual liberty. That includes one's right to believe complete nonsense. So even if religion is corrosive and completely false, it still has the right to be protected by the state. Innate in religious liberty is the protection of religious minorities, including non-believers. And as a member of a small and disliked minority, atheists will be the first victims of majority rule, so I have some skin in this game, so to speak. And while religious freedom is well protected in this country and religion is well revered, it is an article of faith amongst those on the right, both conservative and secular, that Christianity is under attack. They feel that their rights are under jeopardy and that they're the victims of a persecution that no other religion is subject to. This perception is based entirely on a misapprehension. They conflate their basic religious liberties for something I call religious privilege. Religious privilege is the idea that Christianity should be subject to special treatment, receive special accommodations, and should be immune from criticism. And the real reason conservatives consistently think that Christianity is under attack is because they have the sense of entitlement. A good example of this, though it's certainly not the only one, but it's been in the news lately, is this whole controversy over the birth control mandate in Obamacare. Now, I've talked about this issue before, but never in the light of this conversation, and there are some recent developments. Some of the Catholic organizations that object to it are threatening to drop their insurance coverage altogether if they have to, or unless they can opt out of this. For those of you who are unfamiliar with this, there is a provision in Obamacare that says that employee-based health insurance programs need to cover birth control now. And the Catholic Church, which of course employs a lot of people, has moral objections to birth control and does not want to follow suit. And this has caused a firestorm of criticism for the Obama administration and a lot of garbage indignation from the right wing.
And finally, the birth control situation. The Founding Fathers wanted the government to stay out of religion, not impose it, but not interfere with it either. The Catholic Church does not believe in birth control, and it doesn't matter if the faithful go along or not. The Church says no. But the Obama administration says yes, that church-affiliated insurance plans have to cover birth control pills and even the morning after pill in some cases. And that is an enormous intrusion on religion.
Think what that does to people in faiths that do not share those views. This is a violation of conscience. We must have a president who is willing to protect America's first right, our right to worship God according to the dictates of our own conscience.
Whether Catholics use birth control or not is really not the issue. The issue is, can you force a Catholic institution to pay for services that are against the teachings of the Church? And clearly the highest freedom in this country is the freedom of conscience.
So, of course, Obamacare has lots of detractors for numerous reasons, and that includes the birth control mandate. Some people just think it's bad policy. Some people who believe strictly in federalism think that states should handle that. Those criticisms are fine. They're to be dealt with on their own terms, but I'm not going to talk about them in this. I'm going to talk about how this relates to religious freedom. The birth control mandate is the law of the land, and religious organizations, with some exceptions, should have to follow it, whether it violates their conscience or not. Now, the constitutional arguments against this are erroneous because of the exemptions it grants. A California statute with the same exact language was upheld by a conservative court because of the exemptions it granted. A religious organization could opt out of the law if they met one of the following qualities. 1, if the primary purpose of the organization was to inculcate faith. 2, if they primarily employed people who followed the same faith. 3, if they primarily served people of the same faith. And 4, if they were a nonprofit. These are the exact same exemptions granted in Obamacare. So constitutional arguments against this, at least on the grounds of religious liberty, are utterly erroneous. Now, there are important reasons why religious affiliated institutions have to obey secular law, and it has to do with the nature of religious belief and the basis for their objections. So consider the Catholic Church. Why are they opposed to birth control? Well, they're opposed to it for numerous reasons, but specifically, why are they opposed to the pill? The Catholic Church believes that it's morally wrong to take a pill that prevents a zygote from attaching to the uterine wall because they believe that zygote has a soul. Now, they're certainly welcome to believe this. They're welcome to preach it from the pulpit, and Catholics are free to live their lives in accordance with this metaphysical presupposition. That's all covered under religious freedom. Now, if they're running a business and they want to opt out of secular law on those grounds, essentially making their employees who don't share their faith live according to their faith, that's religious privilege. Let me provide another example to put this in perspective. David Barton is a very influential evangelical leader. He believes that the Bible makes specific claims about economic policy.
The Bible's as clear about that as it is any other moral issues out there, because economics can often be moral issues, especially if the Bible takes a stand on where these economic issues are. One of the good examples, minimum wage. Party's been fighting about that for about 60 years. Jesus has an entire teaching on the minimum wage. Is Jesus for or against the minimum wage? Just as a hint, Jesus did not like the minimum wage.
So if somebody opens a Christian bookstore and they're an equal opportunity employer and they service anyone wearing shoes or a shirt, should they be able to opt out of a minimum wage law on the basis of a violation of conscience? No, of course not. Again, there are people who oppose the minimum wage for many reasons. But if they're going to open a business, then they should have to obey the law, whether they're religiously affiliated or not. You see, faith allows you to make up anything, and no one can tell you you're wrong. You can pull a soul out of your ass like the Catholic Church did, or you can come up with any interpretation to find a moral objection to any law you don't like. Now, if you allow them to do that, you're essentially putting religiously affiliated institutions above the law, which would be religious privilege.